For several months now, a rumor has been sweeping through the MonsterVerse community, pointing to the possibility of Godzilla reaching a pure energy transformation, a divine state where his energy and dorsal plates turn a blinding, intense white. Most of us saw it as just a fan's dream. To be honest, I included myself in that thought, until very recently, because just now, what appears to be a massive Fortnite glitch has sounded the alarms once again, showing us a purely white Godzilla evolved with blue base energy and pink flashes that looks truly imposing.
Is it possible we're looking at an intentional leak? Well, the truth is, it wouldn't be the first time a major production company allowed a quote-unquote oversight to generate organic conversation and measure the hype on social media. Look at the detail. This color scheme, pure white with bluish and purple flashes, doesn't look like a simple random software error. It perfectly matches the concept of radioactive overload or pure energy. If Legendary's goal is to give Godzilla back that aura of majesty and divinity that many of us feel has been diluted in recent installments, what better way to prepare us than by dropping this image, quote-unquote, by accident? We're not just seeing a texture failure. We could be witnessing the first signs of a Godzilla with divine energy running through his system, an evolution that doesn't just change his color, but his status from monster to deity. There is an interesting detail worth highlighting. We have already seen that pure white energy in the MonsterVerse right when Godzilla absorbs massive amounts of radiation from the nuclear plant in The New Empire. It is the peak power point before transforming into the Rose version.
Now then, does a white Godzilla already exist officially? Well, yes, and to the surprise of many, this idea isn't an internet invention. It has already been shown in Toho's official canon, specifically in the recent Gemstone short films directed by Takuya Uenishi. In Godzilla vs. Gigan Rex, he enters what is officially known as his special state. Here, his chest and dorsal plates emit an intense white glow. It is a form of energy so pure and concentrated that when he fires his atomic breath, it's basically a spear of white light that vaporizes entire city blocks in a second. So, if we already have this precedent in Japan, could the MonsterVerse be taking notes for the final evolution in Supernova? The Fortnite glitch, although technically a lighting or texture loading error, gave us a glimpse of what many of us have been waiting for years, a Godzilla that is no longer just a radioactive animal, but a force of nature in its purest and, I dare say, celestial state. So, with the near confirmation of this villain from outer space we all know as Space Godzilla, a divine energy might be, perhaps, the only thing capable of standing up to a threat of that caliber.
But would all of this make narrative sense for Supernova? Well, this next big stage, referenced under the title of Supernova, already suggests a cosmic scale of power on its own, something that goes far beyond what we've seen in previous films. But why white? Well, if we look at Godzilla's trajectory, his energy has been mutating. We started with that intense blue, went through thermonuclear red, and ended with the pink of his evolved state. Personally, I believe white is the logical destination. If you mix all the colors of the spectrum, the result is white. It is the total integration of all his previous evolutions into a single state of absolute purity. And another thing, we have to call it like it is. In recent installments, Godzilla has gone from being that unreachable entity to being almost a pawn or just another warrior on the board. Returning him to this state of white energy would be giving him back his status as a deity. We're no longer just talking about the king of the monsters, but the god of the monsters, an entity that transcends the physical. And there is another detail. We know Godzilla's pink energy is more efficient, but what happens if that efficiency reaches a point of total combustion? In energy physics, the color white represents the highest possible temperature. It is the state where Godzilla stops being flesh and bone to become pure energy. If this evolution is real, we would be seeing a complete restructuring of his technical anatomy. For example, crystalline dorsal plates, which would not only glow, but become translucent. It would be the most natural way to show how Godzilla approaches the nature of crystals, preparing him for a direct confrontation against Space Godzilla's structure. As for the white atomic breath, well, forget the push beam. We'd be talking about a beam that doesn't just destroy, it disintegrates at a molecular level. And finally,
the divine aura, a constant nuclear pulse, a heat so intense it would generate a burning effect on everything surrounding it by simple proximity, without the need for physical contact. So, if the enemies on the horizon surpass conventional physical strength, the only logical response for Godzilla is to evolve into this celestial state, a power so great that it manifests as a blinding white light capable of rewriting the rules of the monsterverse.
In conclusion, the use of white wouldn't just be a visual whim, but a masterful move to position Legendary's Godzilla as the superior god of all existing versions, while other universes, like -1, stay in more traditional tones or experiment with green. The Monsterverse has the opportunity to establish that its Godzilla's energy is the definitive thermometer of his divinity. Seeing him reach that state of absolute purity only to gradually recover his bluish tones would be the perfect close to an unprecedented evolutionary cycle. We would no longer be looking at a simple kaiju, but at an entity that has transcended the physical to reclaim its throne as the ultimate deity among all the Godzillas in the world. It would be truly something incredible. I am Cyber, and this is the CyberZone, so I'll see you in the next video.